fun couple weeks. But we did decide we needed professional help. But we had fun, didn't we?
Yeah, I like spending that $80 million. He
cut
me off though. He took the company credit card away. That was it.
When you get to 20 players, stop. Seriously, we're here today to welcome Lon Babby and his wife Ellen to Phoenix, and welcome Lon as our new president of basketball operations for the Phoenix Suns. This has been a process that's been ongoing for about a month, 2 months, and I will say that the Suns have had a pretty good run since this organization came to Phoenix. Fourth best winning percentage in the NBA, and the last six years have been pretty good too. And one of the things that's tough sometimes is when things are going well to kind of venture away from the norm a little bit. But I'm a firm believer that you got to continually try to improve at what you do, and continually try to get better, and continually challenge yourself. The business of the NBA is one that's evolving and changing, and will continue to change with a new collective bargaining agreement at some point here in the future. And I felt that Lon was the exact type of person we needed in this organization to deal with that change and really put us in a position to continue to contend for a championship and have sustained success within the Suns organization. Lon's got a pretty distinguished background in sports, having spent the last 30 years on both sides of the table. He worked on behalf of ownership, negotiating large contracts, and then he spent the last 15 years as an agent representing some of the elite players in the NBA. He's got a unique insight into this business. At the end of the day, success for me in terms of basketball operations revolves around the ability to analyze talent, the ability to understand the collective bargaining agreement and the business of basketball, and how that can be used not only to comply with those rules, but as an offensive weapon to make your team better. Success in negotiation. 80% of the money we spend as an organization that's discretionary is on player contracts. And how we negotiate those contracts, and how we value those contracts, and how we deal with those contracts is a real key to our success. There will be a new collective bargaining agreement at some point, and those teams that are able to understand that agreement and know how to work within that agreement earlier are going to have more success. So to me, I was really excited that Lon was interested in coming on board and making a career change, and really welcome here to the Phoenix Suns organization. I think, Lon, you're exactly what we needed, what I needed in this organization going forward. I'll say that I relied on Alvin too. I've been blessed here, whether it's dealing with Mike D'Antoni or Alvin Gentry. I mean, I've had coaches that want what's best for this organization and have put oftentimes their personal agenda aside to just make good recommendations to me and suggestions to me as to what makes sense. Alvin's been in this business a long time. He's worked with a number of teams, number of organizations. I respected his judgment and his opinions, and relied on Alvin in this process too. And I think Alvin and Lon will work very well together. As I said, this is a little bit outside the box. My personal belief is you're going to see more and more of this going on within the NBA, where basketball executives are going to come from a background other than basketball, other than playing and coaching basketball. And I think this may be a little bit of a template of what you're going to see going forward. I did feel good going to Summer League, where a lot of executives were there, and people kept coming up and saying, hey, congratulations, you really made a great selection here, you're lucky to have Lon. One of the things that, to me, was at the top of the list was Lon, is he just got impeccable, not only credentials, but character and reputation of being someone that's honest and forthright, but being someone that people really like to deal with. And one of the tricks in negotiating with agents on contracts is to do it in a way so that you represent your franchise, you do the best job you can, but also make everybody feel good. And he's got unique insight in dealing with players and knowing from their side, what makes them feel good, what are their hot buttons, how to make things work. And I'm just really excited that all that experience and all that insight and all that talent is now going to be on the side of the Phoenix Suns. And with that, I'll turn it over to Alvin for some comments, and then we can let Lon discuss.
I don't have a whole lot to say other than I've known Lon for a long time, and I've dealt with him all the way back to the Detroit days with Grant Hill, and I can honestly say that I'm really looking forward to having a great relationship with Lon. I think that his number one goal is going to be to put us in a situation where we can not only win games but try to build a championship team as we continue to try to get over the hump in that area right there. And I think he'll do everything humanly possible that can be done to try to help us accomplish that. And to me, that's the main thing that you would want in an executive that have anything to do with the basketball part of it, and that's that he would try to put us in a situation talent-wise where we can have the best chance to win a championship. So I know that he'll work extremely hard. I know we'll get along great together. We got along great together when he was an agent. So now that he's actually on our team, I think it'll even be that much better. But I look forward to the relationship, and I look forward to working with Lon. And as I said, I think he'll do a fantastic job here.
Well, thank you all for coming out, and let me thank Robert for that very kind introduction, and more importantly, I thank him for giving me what I view as the opportunity of a lifetime. I've been going to press conferences like this for a long, long time. Not my own, but I've been going to press conferences like this for a long, long time, and more often than not, a player will sit at a table like this and they'll say, this is a dream come true to play for this team or for that team, and they're almost saying it by rote. And you look out in the audience, and there's always someone there who's kind of rolling their eyes because they've heard it 100 times before. Well, I'm about to say the same thing. This truly is a dream come true for me. It's a wonderful opportunity. And the reason I say that is because it allows my career to come full cycle. I've been in sports now for 35 years. First half on management, second half 15 or 16 years representing players. And now I have an opportunity to bring everything that I've seen and learned over those many, many years to this wonderful organization. To me, the Phoenix Suns are not just a premier NBA franchise, but an elite franchise in all the sports. And so I'm truly humbled to be the president of basketball operations. And it is humbling, but I am reassured by having Robert's support, by having Alvin Gentry in place as our head coach, because he's shown his mettle as a first-class, first-rate head coach this last spring. I've known him, as he said, since Grant's days back in Detroit, and his evolution as a player, as a coach, and has been sensational. And I remember telling him that in Washington earlier this year, that it's just joyous to watch what's happened to him in the course of his coaching career. And so that friendship was very, very important to me in considering doing this. The other person who's here is Rick Welts, who I see over there, and Rick and I have known each other for probably 20 years as well. And to have that kind of talent here, that kind of support, takes a little of the edge off of doing something quite so different and quite so humbling. So I look forward to this new challenge. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you in this room, and I look forward to working with you. So with that, any questions you have, I'll do my best to avoid.
Robert, can you describe the talent evaluation component you described as impeccable business credentials? How will that kick in? Is there another part to this?
Yeah, they will. There will be, and I'll just actually turn it over to Lon because he'll be best to address that.
I'm going to play to my strengths. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. I've never told anybody I was Red Auerbach. I have no expectation of taking the lead on those kinds of talent.